the UK sing happy birthday to Noam at the start of a wrestling match. I mean, that's awesome. Dunne is kicking him from the floor to keep him away.
Fighting from the ground, and I love that about Dunne. He's the absolute master at demonstrating what ring psychology when you want to win looks like.
What was your reaction when that happened?
I felt I felt a little bit sick.
Yeah,
it's
that's
so
how wrestling should make you feel.
It's so good. It's so good.
Ugh. Hello and a very warm welcome to the Gimme a Whole Year Wrestling podcast. My name is Ant and this is
Ollie.
And we are here today to talk about NXT UK episode 1. Ollie's standing in for this so we can do them a bit easier together because Ollie lives downstairs. And if you're enjoying the content, please, if you hit that thumbs up button, comment, subscribe to the channel and let us know if you're enjoying it. So this is sort of taking place after the UK tournament and is the very first episode 1. Me and Dom did cover the NXT UK tournament, which is in our archive. So if you go have a look there, you can see our thoughts on that. I think it was about a 3-hour video because it was just that damn good. Today we're looking at the first episode, which was from the Corn Exchange in Cambridge. Nice venue. What did you think?
Yeah, really nice. I think that the kind of boxes they had set up on one side, it looked like maybe it was for kind of theatre productions or something there.
Yeah, it did look like a theatre
kind
hall.
of wooden boxes on one side that could have been really nice if they were filled with audience, but I think they had like lights and stuff set up in them.
Yeah, it was interesting because the obviously if it was a theatre, the entrance ramp was where the stage would be.
Yeah.
But that's also where the hard camera was for a lot of it, which we'll talk about a little bit later on when we get into certainly one of the promos. It was most noticeable. A video package at the beginning spotlighting UK wrestling. We see the epic SummerSlam from United Kingdom in 1992 and seeing the likes of Fit Finlay, William Regal, sort of all the British Bulldog, of course, and then also the latest superstars in the UK. So Zach Gibson, obviously at the Royal Albert Hall, as well as Pete Dunne, Tyler Bate, that sort of stuff. And these guys that are in this, like, they've put on some of the greatest matches in WWE in the last few years. That match with Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne, what do you think of that, dude?
Absolutely incredible. One of the best examples of storytelling within a match that I've seen in a long, long time.
You always talk about your favourite bit from that match.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, the best moment is when they go into this back and forth strikes over and over and over again, and then Tyler throws the hand up and just cracks him with one. It's fantastic.
It is cracking, man. I mean, there's such good wrestlers. And did you watch the recent stuff with the Mustache Mountain versus Undisputed Era?
Yes.
Amazing, man.
Really good. But, I mean, NXT and tag team wrestling is just incredible. It has been for years now, hasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. New theme tune to start off the show. So it's the NXT background music, and Asteroid Boys have done the theme, who have mixed some quite heavy grime, some rapping in it. What do you think of the new theme tune? I like it.
Yeah. I mean, it sells the product, you know.
It's different. It distinguishes it while remaining the same. I thought it was very clever, man.
It's got that WWE feel to it, but it's it's got that British flavour, which is nice. I think like it was a very nice contrast to the kind of that, you know, the package you were talking about before, the one with all, you know, the big references that felt very American, whereas
it did actually, it's probably the American production company that actually did that.
The intro into the show was quite distinctly British, which was nice. It was a nice touch.
British, and there's a lot of British wrestling. And there's some awesome stuff that happens, especially being British. There's a great, the crowd were amazing tonight. Like for such a tiny venue,
it was small.
I mean, you think like there was probably less people there than Full Sail, I would assume.
It
by
looks
the look of it.
It's quite deep, isn't it? On
it's
one
a theatre,
side,
it's a long theatre.
Rather than like an arena where you've got a crowd all around, it was very long.
I imagine there's more people at NXT, but this crowd made so much more noise.
They were really, and I think
that emphasises the excitement that British fans have that WWE is doing this, and we want to see it continue. You know, we want to see it thrive. On commentary, we had Nigel McGuinness and Vic Joseph. I don't think they were calling the commentary live.
No.
There's no commentary table. When we see them do their intro at the beginning, it was filmed on a green screen with, I can't remember, was it the NXT logo?
It was the NXT UK logo behind them, which is really nice, by the way.
It's a cool logo, man. It's a cool logo. But a lot of the stuff has been designed. We'll talk a little bit about the tag team belts when we get onto them. But first match was Mark Andrews versus Joe Coffey, accompanied by Mark Coffey, the Coffey brothers.
Yes.
Do you know what my favourite thing about this wrestler is?
No, go on.
Right, I have this thing with my girlfriend, and if I can get her to say tea or coffee, then she's got to go and make me a tea or coffee.
Right. Okay.
So like, what was the name of the coloured guy from the A Team? The black guy from the A Team? He was Mr. Something.
Mr. T.
And then she'll say tea, and she'll go and make me, or the dude from Green Mile, Joe something.
Oh.
Coffee.
Okay, yeah.
So this is another Joe Coffee, nothing like the dude in Green Mile.
Yeah. An absolute behemoth of a specimen he looks on TV, doesn't he?
He is, man.
Like he's such a dynamic performer as well. Like he's bigger. You know, he showed up at the end of at Royal Albert Hall and attack after the Fatal 4-Way. And I forgot how big he is when he doesn't have a t-shirt on. Do you know what I mean? Like t-shirts, he wears black t-shirts quite a lot, makes him look smaller. But you get him in the ring gear, and he's
a big guy.
Huge.
I think because he was in the tournament, wasn't he? But his brother wasn't. Is that right? I think.
Yeah, I think
and,
so.
I didn't think much to his matches, but could see that they were going into this angle. And actually, it's great that they've gone straight into this episode with an angle, which. Yeah. Makes sense, and also they give it the time that it needed, I think, especially towards the end of the match.
Yeah, it had a nice time to it. I think you had the early kind of back and forth, really playing to their advantages. Joe was showing off his weight advantage, and Mark Andrews kept trying to flip him over and try and use his speed, and Joe Coffey was just staying grounded, and that was a nice touch. It's nice to see wrestlers actually play to their strengths, and see that kind of ring psychology going on.
It's nice to see that sort of high flyer going against the bigger guy and permanently getting swatted as well. I think is sort of the exciting thing of the match. Coffey tries to pin Andrews early on, holding his hands to pin him to the mat. That's really nice, man. And then so he goes for the 2 count, and Andrews gets one hand up, and then he pushes it back. Just a nice little sort of. That grapple wrestling style, but within a pin. It's not something you see all the time, and it was nice to see.
Hits into that nice bridge as well.
It did, man.
Got both shoulders off the floor
to get up. And
the crowd popped for that. Which
they did,
nice.
Andrews delivered a couple of really good hurricanranas during this match. There was one early on that was just a standing one. There's one off the second turnbuckle as well. It looks really cool. Coffey selling it as well.
Yes, I know, which was surprising. I thought you'd go for 1 or 2 beforehand, and then. And maybe Joe would just kind of keep grounded and hold on to him and maybe swing him around a bit. But
that would have been quite nice actually. Yeah. If they'd gone for the third one, that would have been a really nice sort of way to have got him that advantage.
Best things come in threes.
Yeah, but it's also the fact that he's learning it, and also with a difference from the first one to the second one. Yeah, it would have been cool, but the match was good anyway.
And it's so interesting as they had that similar kind of theme going through for the actual finish of the match, where they tease something twice and then they don't really go for it.
Coffey's power is too much for Andrews' agility, knocking him down to the mat with ease at times, swatting that fly that is Mark Andrews. I think it was great putting Mark Andrews on in the first match as well, because he's already quite established within WWE at the minute.
Yeah.
I know that when I've been to the house shows, he's been there, and he's done little bits on NXT TV. Didn't he team up with... was it Tyler Bate and Mustache Mountain versus Pete Dunne and a couple of others? Wolfgang?
I think you're right.
Something like that. Andrews is thrown out of the ring, and we see Mark looking to get involved, but the ref catches it. Joe delivers a clothesline from behind to end the segment. Excuse me. There's a flipping victory roll into a standing court. So this flipping victory roll, is awesome, man. I mean, it's almost like an avalanche fly, isn't it? Like a Spanish fly.
It's got that kind of surprise on it. It felt a little dangerous to me actually, because he looks like he just avoids landing right on the top of his head. But I mean,
danger's good.
Yeah, danger's good. Yeah, it looks effective, but just be careful of your neck, because that's
don't die.
Yeah,
don't
scary.
die. Not in the first episode. I think the nice thing about the match was Coffey's dominance, constantly pushing back Andrews' offense, which we sort of said. There's a stun gun from Mark Andrews, which is sort of a stun and reverse. It was awesome. A distraction from Mark Coffey leads to a high belly-to-belly suplex, and then the massive lariat from Coffey. It looked like it had a lot of power, great sound.
And again, it goes back to that thing, great storytelling all the way through here. He teases the discus lariat twice, and fails both times, and then finally after that distraction, he manages to hit it, and it's.
Is that lariat a good finisher? I think it's
so.
good, but I don't know if it's a great finisher.
I don't know. I quite like world's strongest clothesline style kind of thing.
Do you like
JBL's clothesline? It just looks nasty. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think when they put that much behind it, because you see so many, you see so many kind of weak clotheslines thrown around, particularly in regular kind of WWE programming. Just seeing one which like takes somebody off their feet, it's nice.
Just want to see someone get destroyed with someone else's arm.
I don't want to see Roman Reigns slowly hugging someone in the corner. Do you know what I mean?
But that happens every match.
Exactly. But like a good strong.
Yeah. No, it's good. I just wish there was something a little bit different, or maybe a different build up to it, or something like that. I don't know. I mean, he sort of pauses the moment by doing a shout or something like that. But I just wish there was a little bit more there. That's all.
Actually, his one of my favourite moments from that match is I think he's on the outside. He's just taken Mark Andrews out. Joe Coffey has just taken Mark Andrews out, and he shouts, "It's my kingdom, my kingdom," which for a kind of first match on the first show is a really nice, when you're pushing that United Kingdom UK wrestling thing. It's a really nice moment.
And speaking about kingdoms, we've released the WrestleMania 11 review this weekend, which also has Owen Hart talking about his kingdom and how it's his kingdom, which is a good little knock back to Owen Hart. At the end of the match, after the match, the Coffey brothers go to attack Mark Andrews.
Yeah.
Demolishing him on the floor. Who comes for the save? No, Flash Morgan Webster.
Yes.
In his full mod outfit, his parka. I mean, he looks awesome.
He's got
a real
look.
character, man.
Yeah.
And he comes out with a motorbike helmet and starts swinging it around, and
just going for it, isn't
he really went for it.
Yeah.
He was that close to hitting one of them on the head at one point as they were going out the ring, and I was like, whoa.
I'm not sure he didn't get him with a couple of glancing blows, He's proper going in.
That would have hurt, man.
I can't get over the fact, though, I know this is, I can't get over the fact that he looks so much like Jay from In-Betweeners.
Oh, I know, man. He does.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
he does look like him. He looks like a badass version of him, but he still looks like him. I kind of expected him to start cracking wires. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, if you haven't seen The In-Betweeners, it's a UK TV show that's really quite funny. I haven't seen all of it, to be honest. I haven't seen the films or anything.
They're not great.
Okay, probably won't watch them, but the series was actually quite good. Next up, we have an Eddie Dennis video package, seeing photos with a young Pete Dunne and a young Mark Andrews. Pete Dunne with no acne on his face, or scarring from acne.
Yeah. You know what? It works for his look, though.
Of course it. Hey, I'm not saying it doesn't, but it was just real weird to see like a young, clean Pete Dunne. Do you know?
Yeah.
He says that he's got some stories to tell, and he can't wait to tell them stories.
And little fun fact: Eddie Dennis is another Welshman.
Yes, he is.
Yeah. Mark Andrews, I believe, is also...
potentially.
Yeah, I think he's Welsh as well.
Sweet.
That's man after man.
What did you think about this video package? Are you Welsh?
Yeah, I'm Welsh.
I never knew that.
Yeah.
If you want to hear more about Ollie, we'll have a little chat with Ollie at the end of the show and find out a little bit about him.
Sweet.
What did you think about this promo? It didn't excite me.
I think it dragged in the middle. I think it had a strong start and a strong finish. I think that they just gave too much time to Trent Seven. He's good in small, punchy moments, but he's not good to kind of carry a promo.
I see. Sorry, I was on about the Eddie Dennis promo.
Sorry.
You're all right.
Sorry.
You're running ahead. Eddie Dennis. All I was going to say is it didn't excite me.
No, brief. Really brief.
And there was no sort of character there. If they were going to do this, they should have done it with a guy with a bit more character. Whatever that is.
He had good timing, and he had the right tone of voice and stuff. But it was so that's why I skipped straight over it, because it was so brief. It was over before.
It was. But Moustache Mountain, they come out, and the crowd love them, man. I mean, the crowd really pop as soon as come out. Obviously, the sort of known guys. So this is where we're talking about the hard cam. So the hard cam was actually in the middle of the video wall as they come out. You can see a block where the LED wall isn't. So basically, the guys, when they were performing, especially when they're performing promos, this whole section were performing to a video wall with a whole crowd behind him. And Seven seems to not want to do that. He seems to he wants to be in with the crowd. And he's turning more and more this way, which didn't really work for the promo. And actually, when I'm watching it, I just get, that's all I friggin' noticed. You know what I mean?
And Tyler Bate keeps you can see him. Early on he realizes what Trent Seven's doing, so he kind of angles himself.
Yeah, to try and get Trent.
And you actually see his eyes go like to the camera and back. And
But I think I think 7 and Bait's good. I think one of the weakest things about Bait, and it's something that he can improve on in time, is definitely his promo skills. And I think 7 has that.
Yes.
I think 7 has it. I get what you're saying. There wasn't a lot to say with this promo apart from "We are here."
It felt like they had too long for too short of a message, I think.
Yeah, all it was we're here and we're going to be tag team champions.
Which we've got to kind of basically say, they probably will be the first tag team champions.
No.
You don't think so?
No, not at all.
No,
I don't think they can. I think they're so established that it's to have a tag team division, they need to give it to someone else for them to
chase.
Yeah, so it's almost like, and that's weird to be talking about. Probably the youngest guy WWE has signed. It probably is still Tyler Bate, I would assume.
Is he 21 now?
Oh, he's so young, man. When he won the first thing, he was like 18 or something daft like that. So. Yeah, I think it makes more sense if they're going to build up a division to use these established guys, including Pete Dunne, as well, as we will see later on, to really sort of give NXT UK its own identity and let the guys that are going to be there full time, because we know that Pete Dunne is going to be main roster and he's going to be amazing when he's on the main roster.
If they give him the chance.
They will give him the chance.
I would hope so.
I've said this to Dom a few times. You know what would be a great, like, if they did a pay-per-view in the UK and it was headlined by Pete Dunne versus Triple H, people would go mental for that. Yeah. That would be like Bulldog Bret Hart levels of sort of chanting again. It would be great. And it makes sense as well with that sort of passing of the torch and all of that sort of stuff.
And Triple H does love Pete Dunne.
Understandably, man. I love Pete Dunne. He's insanely awesome. Mustache Mountain talk about winning the titles at Royal Albert Hall. They talk about the talent of the main roster in the UK division, and people should be pairing up by now. We've seen a bit of that in the first match with Mark Andrews and Flash Morgan Webster. They'd be a better people to give to the first tag teams too, in my opinion.
Not the Coffees?
Not the Coffees. Yeah, maybe the Coffees.
Yeah,
a
nice,
maybe
big, broody heel tag team. I still think they're going to give it to Bate and Dunne. Bate and Trent 7.
Maybe they will.
I think just because they've already got that established pedigree, then bring someone out to chase that. It feels like a natural, but I mean,
Yeah, maybe we'll see. I think the problem is if you give it to them, because they can't, because Pete Dunne is already established within having the UK title for the last year and a half, is it?
So it's getting on for 500 days or
something like that. Yeah, it's a long time. If they give it to them as well, it's going to feel like it's too much of the same.
It's just these three guys.
It's just the three guys,
Yeah, maybe you're right. Sure.
We'll see. And I don't think he's losing it anytime soon. Although I have heard rumours of an injury.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That wouldn't be fun.
It would be good.
I mean, a good opportunity to bring him up to the main roster, maybe.
Maybe so.
Tyler Bate is funny.
He is.
Did a nice little joke in the middle.
What was his joke?
He said, Trent Seven said to Tyler Bate, "Oh, you're the youngest, youngest champion, the youngest UK champion there's ever been," and then he fired back with, and you might be the oldest, which was a really nice moment. And it shows that actually, Tyler Bate doesn't have the best promo skills. He's got enough to get by, and working with Trent Seven, I think is really going to help with that.
I reckon it was probably Trent Seven that came up with that joke and said, why don't you say that? And
but they work really well together, I think, because I think Trent's got the, he's got the fire and the passion, and he can come out with the kind of, like I said before, the kind of...
the storytelling.
The moments of punchiness and that, and Tyler Bate can throw a joke in there. And
and in terms of in the ring, like Tyler Bates, I think great, but Seven can sometimes tell the story a little bit better at times. I think
so much experience.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. They also talk about the whole of the UK coming together to support NXT UK, and you really feel that in the audience, don't you?
Yeah.
Really good.
Yeah.
Then we get a video promo of Dave Mastiff, including footage of him in the qualifying matches at Download UK. They did some qualifying matches at Download Festival this year. I imagine they're going to do more next year. So if you're in the UK and you want to see some NXT UK wrestling, Download, probably be some decent bands on.
Yeah.
And he's a beast, isn't he, Dave Mastiff?
Yes, that video package is incredible.
It was great.
I want to say it's absolutely amazing. That's how you sell a monster.
A monster, yeah. I was saying monster heel. You were saying it's not necessarily monster heel?
I don't know if they're pushing him as a heel. I think we'll talk about I think maybe because of the match.
Cool.
Like, I felt like it wasn't
Okay.
necessarily heel, but I think maybe they're pushing him out and kind of going, how do the crowd react to him? And like, because I think they've kind of proved with Braun Strowman and people like that you can have these great big hulking heels and monsters and still have them be face.
Yeah, maybe it's just maybe I'm just so used to the phrase monster heel as opposed to anything
crowd's
else.
changing, isn't it?
Absolutely, man. Sid Scala versus Dave Mastiff is next. Sid Scala, man. Great dude, sort of a weird comb over, and he comes down to an awesome indie track. I have no idea who that was by. It was probably just generic.
Sounded
music,
something kind of very like Fall Out Boy, didn't it? It was
but it was clearly from like a London area, and he was from the London area, and a bit like that.
Oh no, sorry, I've got his music confused with somebody else's.
With are you thinking of Mark Andrews?
Yeah.
You know, Mark Andrews did his own theme song with his band. He's in a band.
Oh right.
He's a singer in a band.
Very like.
If Don was here, he'd say exactly what the name of the band was, but I can't remember. Yeah, no, it's his own ska punk band.
Yeah.
Dave Mastiff comes down, and the camera. Talk about the camera, Ollie, because you noticed this. And it was awesome.
So I had some criticisms of the camera work beforehand. They're doing the thing that WWE always do, which they cut to another angle on Impact, and I really don't like that. But with this camera work, amazing. So every step that Mastiff takes, they shake the camera a little bit, just so that it looks like every step he's taking, he's this giant, hulking, ground shaking, earth trembling kind of monster. And I think that little touches like that really help to sell a character, don't they? Like
he's the Godzilla of NXT UK.
Exactly.
Yeah, he's great,
and he moves in the ring, man.
Yeah, man, he's got some skills. So this is basically a squash match. Scala tries to elbow strike Mastiff early on, but he no-sells it, and then hits Scala back and then
at him multiple times,
and then just throws him around the ring. I mean, this is exactly how a squash match should be. There was the longest delayed slam where he sort of holds him up in the air with one arm at one point. For way too long before slamming him down, which was great.
And it's a release suplex as well.
It is,
Release suplexes I absolutely love. I love watching them happen. They seem to be becoming more prevalent now. And when you've got a delay on that, and then he just tosses
and then he just goes
over his shoulder,
like he's nothing, a piece of meat.
Yeah,
he completely bashed this guy.
Yeah.
An incredible double drop kick, double-footed drop kick, which was like boom, knocks his head off.
Standing as well.
I know, right? Yeah. It's similar to the War Raiders. Them guys go at it like that as well.
It's always great to see a big man do something like that.
Absolutely, yeah. And that tends to be, it's weird. A lot of big men are doing that now.
Yeah.
It seems to be more and more. I know Braun Strowman, even in his earlier heel run, he was doing stuff off the top rope. But I remember listening to a Stone Cold podcast, and he was like, what's he doing? He's way too heavy to be doing stuff like that. If he does it, he may get seriously injured. But you look at guys like the War Raiders or Killian Dane or someone like that, they're all doing it now,
Well, Big Show used to do it, didn't he?
Big Show,
Live
at one of his points, probably one of his many heel to face turns.
Sorry, slightly off topic, but do you see he's turned heel again?
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
After all his work with Connor's Cure last week or the week before, and then suddenly he's back to being heel.
It's a joke, isn't it? Like,
That was good. It's funny. And then so Mastiff also delivers a cannonball.
Yes.
My God. I mean, Kevin Owens' cannonball is like slamming. This dude is like, he's bigger than Kevin Owens. He doesn't just run and roll over. He dived in the air and just collapsed on this person.
He covered like the last third of the ring.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he dived with a good third of the ring still to go, and just somersaulted into him.
I hope you're in a good position, Scala. Normally when people take the cannonball, they sit up to receive it, so they've got a bit of leeway. I don't think Scala sat up enough.
I think he just got squashed.
Literally.
Yeah.
Best way to do a squash match, man.
Yeah,
Loved
literally
it.
squash him.
Loved it.
And do you know what? So this is why I think that maybe not necessarily monster heel. Okay, so he comes out, the crowd are so behind him, but they put him up against Sid Scala, right? And he comes out, and the commentary describe him as this plucky, like, you know, go-getter. But he I don't know. I feel like he was like out there to deliberately annoy the live crowd. You know, he like took everything very seriously, and he was like, "I'm a wrestler. I'm a big boy in my big boy trunks." And he kind of goes like, "Yeah." Like, I don't know. I feel like, and what people want in particularly a UK audience, what we want to see is like somebody get like annihilated, and we want hard hitting matches. We don't want some guy to come out and be like, yeah, woo, like, you know, and then he just
but it could have been a lot more annoying as well.
It could have been
a lot more annoying.
But it wasn't about him.
No, it was not at all.
Mastiff.
But yeah, and maybe that's why, because then if they'd been more annoying, it would have been about him.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be interesting to see where they go with Mastiff, and we'll see what happens. But like I said to you earlier, if they want to take him heel or face, it depends who he's against.
Yes,
and he's
100%.
probably be one of those guys that can cross both ways.
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah.
Sky's the limit for that guy.
Hopefully. Look forward to it. Interview with Nina Samuels and her shiny, 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 shiny face.
Yeah.
She needs some makeup, man.
Yes, and
Needs
also
what's
really
that powder called?
awkward intro. Like,
yeah.
Do you not think the camera kind of came in on the interviewer who did not introduce himself even slightly?
No.
Had no idea who he was.
No idea.
And then he conducted the most awkward interview I've ever seen in my life. It was really bizarre.
I mean, it's sort of establishing her, but weird.
It felt really scripted, like really heavily
Yeah, she's
scripted.
going to make a statement against Toni Storm. I get it, because we know who Toni Storm is, and we need to know who this new character is, and that's fine. But it just maybe it needs to be told in the ring. I don't know.
It just felt.
I don't know if
really
she's got
awkward.
that capability yet. Actually, I don't know.
I don't know her at all. Like,
No, I don't know.
No idea who Nina Samuel, like,
she did okay. I think Toni really carried the match, and you could see that. There were spots where Nina was looking at what the next spot is and stuff like this. So Toni Storm comes down. She's got a wild side to her. Obvious Motley Crue reference. Shout out to the Devil and all the Motley Crue fans out there. She's going to kickstart your heart, one of the commentators said, which is again another reference to a Motley Crue song. I really wish they'd paid for the rights for Motley Crue's "Kickstart My Heart" as an entrance theme. And I think that if when she goes to main, and she will go to main roster, because she's phenomenal.
She's got the full package already.
Absolutely, she's already there.
Yeah.
I think they should pay for that right for that music, but also I think she's going to be one of the best female wrestlers in that division. I think she's better than most of the women on the main roster now. I really do.
Yeah, she's certainly like, if not better, then certainly on the same level, or you know, the top of that. You know, I could see her going for incredible matches with Charlotte Flair and Sasha Banks, and
really exciting.
Yeah, they'd be amazing matches, because she's not like the most. I don't think she's like necessarily the most like crazy athletic wrestler.
She
like,
can tell a story, man.
Yeah, that's the thing.
She can tell a story.
Technically, she's sound.
Yeah,
and she can tell a story, and she's just got the faces and the attitude and the performance, and everything is in there. Like, she could do some amazing work on the main roster. I
mean, me and Dom talked about it a lot during her match with Shayna Baszler at the NXT UK tournament. Again, go back and watch that episode if you've on YouTube's and not doing anything. But she told this story in the ring with Baszler, and it is by far the best match that I've seen Baszler have. I've not been impressed with a lot of other work. I quite like her gimmick of the UFC submission specialist. But that match with Toni Storm was outstanding. Better than anything else Baszler's ever done, in my opinion.
Baszler's a weird one. She's much better chasing a title than she is holding it, certainly.
Didn't she come in and just take the title, though?
She was about 6 months, I think, after she came.
It?
Yeah, it was, or maybe 4 months.
Why? Who was after? Oh, it was Ember Moon after Asuka.
And she had I really enjoyed the Ember Moon Shayna Baszler matches, but she was much better as that kind of like really aggressive, I'm going to show up in the ring whenever I want, beat somebody up.
Yeah, she don't really need a title, but I think they've used her wrong, actually. I think they should have just have her that beat up in the backstage sort of character, to be perfectly honest. Anyway, Toni Storm is currently calling NXT UK her home. Did we find out where Toni Storm's from? Is it Australia?
I'm sure she's from Australia.
I'm pretty sure she is.
But she's just great. Like,
she's calling NXT UK home, and she will. She's going to be one of these women that I don't even necessarily think they'll give her the title, but she will make everyone that fights her look amazing. Yes. And when you've got people like Faye Ripley, Oh, she was in the...
Oh, Rhea Ripley.
Rhea Ripley,
Rhea
sorry.
Ripley
Faye Ripley.
so
Is Faye
good.
Ripley like some You Being Frame presenter or something?
I have
like
no
that?
idea who Faye Ripley
Cool,
is.
it's someone.
Google it. Find out.
Rhea Ripley.
It'll be someone real dodgy.
It will be, yeah, probably, yeah. Google it and it'll end up on a certain website that you shouldn't be on.
Yeah.
No, so she'll make people like that look amazing, I think,
Yes.
is what her role is in
100%.
NXT UK. Do you
Yeah.
think they're going to give her the title?
I hope so. I think she could do wonderful things with it.
I don't think they will. I think
she'll go to the main roster before she has a title.
I think she. Yeah, that's what I mean. And I
Yeah.
think she's. I think she's going to potentially. She'll at least be in the final or win the Mae Young Classic. I think.
Yes, and I think we'll also see her in the Women's Royal Rumble come January.
Yeah, man, that'd be cool.
Yeah,
Oh.
she'll show up. I reckon.
She won't win though,
And
will
No,
she?
she won't win. But
Because
she'll
they're doing
she'll
the whole
do well.
Charlotte and Ronda Rousey
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
What a shame, though, man. What a shame that things are so far like booked in advance. Like that something as exciting as someone like Toni Storm women, which would be amazing,
Yes.
ain't gonna happen because we've got this Ronda Rousey Charlotte thing to do.
I think we're at without going too off topic. I think like we're at a point now with WWE where the product they want it to be formulaic in a way. I think they don't want to swerve too much. You know.
No,
I think that if people know that it's going to be Ronda Rousey and Charlotte Flair, they start booking their tickets early. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think if people already know what matches are coming up, whereas as much as we love Toni Storm and we think she's great, you know, like your casual fans probably maybe not.
Oh no, they won't know her at all.
Is.
No. But you've got to make new stars as well.
Yes, you do. You should.
Yeah, and Toni Storm is one of them. There was a great comment on our Facebook the other day with a bloke, I can't remember the name and I didn't write it down, a bloke who was basically saying that even though WrestleMania's in his backyard this year, he's probably not going to go because Roman Reigns will be headlining again.
Yeah.
And I posted on his comment earlier, it's not his backyard, it's Roman Reigns' yard.
So
just to rub it in.
I pose a theory to you. I had a theory about this and about Roman Reigns headlining 5 WrestleManias.
Oh, go on.
So, again, we're going slightly off topic, but I think
it's
interesting to talk about. So Brock Lesnar beats CM Punk's reign, right? They deliberately give it to Brock Lesnar so that somebody can beat CM Punk's title reign. What if the rumours about Hulk Hogan coming back are not true, and what they really want to do is erase a little bit of history and have Roman Reigns become the person who's headlined the most consecutive WrestleManias?
Yeah, probably.
That's my theory, is that they want to just create a bigger...
Why, how many did Hulk... Was he 8, I think?
No, I think it's 5. I think it's 5 Hulk
1...
consecutive headline,
Okay.
I think is 5.
Because the only one I think it's 8. Because the only one I didn't was WrestleMania 9, where but he still threw himself into the headliner with Bret Hart and Yokozuna.
Okay.
I think it was 8.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah.
But
rubbish.
It could be that.
Yeah.
It could be them pushing Reigns as like a successor to that accolade.
Yeah,
you know?
perhaps. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, that would be really
scary
sad,
thoughts.
wouldn't it? Back to the match, though.
Back to the match.
Snap German suplex
Oh,
was
man.
incredible.
She has the best German suplex. Who else
Yes.
does an amazing German suplex? One of the cruiserweights. Jack Gallagher does a great German suplex.
Or Gallagher, as it appears to be on WWE.
I thought it was Gallagher.
commentary. I thought it was Gallagher, but they say Gallagher.
Gallagher?
On some...
What's a Gallagher?
I don't know. On some commentary, it comes across like Gallagher. I don't know if it's just accent, mistranslation. I don't know what it is, but it comes
Weird,
across
man.
as Jack Gallagher. And I don't... That sounds wrong to me.
Yeah, it does. I agree. Although I don't think Nina Samuels was as polished as Toni Storm in this match. Toni Storm made it feel like a competitive match.
Yeah,
And-
she sold.
Yeah, she sold for her, and that's great. Nina Samuels does whatever she can to enrage the crowd, sort of tell him to shut up at one point and stuff like that.
Yeah.
The suplex, incredible, amazing snap at the end.
Yeah.
One of the best Germans in the industry at the minute.
It was faster than the camera cut.
Yes.
It was so fast.
The
The snap was
camera
so
cut.
fast, the camera cut missed part of that.
Yeah,
German
which was
suplex.
great. And she gets a Storm Zero for the win. I like the
Yes.
Storm Zero. You was talking about it before.
Yes, such a good finisher. I love a finisher that has 2 points of impact.
Yeah.
Because she drops her on the onto her knee and
Yeah.
then plants her onto the
Plants her
floor,
onto the
and
floor.
it's just like a nice bang bang 1-2.
Yeah.
Really nice finish. I do like it.
Awesome. Quite enjoyed the match.
Yeah, fine.
It was nice to see Toni Storm.
Yeah, she was.
I love Toni
out.
Storm.
Nina has terrible ring gear. That's the only thing I'm going to say about
Yeah,
that.
you didn't like
I
that, did
really
you?
don't like her ring gear.
Yeah.
It
I didn't
looks
mind.
poorly made.
I know what you mean. When you
I'm
pointed
really
out
sorry,
the
but it just-
elbow pads were...
Yeah, they're like the
bit-
shoulder little things were like kind of.
But I quite like the
weird.
dressing at the back.
Yeah, it's like I think the design is cool. I just think it's not very well made.
Two bearded men talking about fashion. Well, I hated her makeup, so let's not
Yeah.
go there.
But I think she's got loads of potential. She's just a little bit clunky still.
Yeah. We'll see what she does. I'm excited to see Isla Dawn actually and stuff. How was she in the Mae Young Classic? Because you've been keeping up with that. Have you seen any of Isla Dawn?
No, I watched like 1.5 episodes of it so
right,
far,
cool.
so I've only seen
Cool.
like half of them actually compete.
Cool.
But
Well, she'll
there's-
be in the British division, I would
Yeah.
assume. So
I would
we'll see how she
hope
does.
So.
Next up, we have Johnny Saint in the ring, the most charismatic manager in all of WWE at the minute.
Yeah.
Do you agree with that statement? Probably not.
No.
He sort of stands there in the ring and brings absolutely nothing to
Yeah.
anything about
No, he
his
did
title match. Yeah.
Nothing really, did he?
And the crowd are chanting Johnny Saint. I mean,
Yeah. I mean, it was. I didn't really get it. He didn't do anything. I don't think. He literally
I think
just
it's
stood there.
weird that they've chose him as the general manager. I think Paige would have been a great general manager for NXT UK. Like, I'm not talking about WWE's seasonal Raw and SmackDown general managers. I'm talking of William Regal NXT. Paige is the manager of NXT UK. I think that would have been a really good use of her as well.
Yeah, I mean, what with it being such a shame she can't wrestle and stuff anymore.
Well, yeah, but
it would have been nice to, because particularly as she's got such a good, an iconic voice in WWE already. They already give her loads of promo time, so we all know what she sounds like. It would be a good access point for people overseas, in America, to kind of see British wrestling and go, oh, we recognise Paige. She's really involved.
We'll
Really
watch
good idea.
NXT UK.
And she's great on the mic, you know.
She is.
And she's got such a British voice as well, doesn't she? Like she sounds more British than anyone.
She sounds way more British than us, yeah. Supernova Noam Dar versus Pete Dunne for the United Kingdom Championship is the next match. We'll run through the match and then talk about it afterwards. The crowd here sound like a stadium as opposed to a small venue. I mean, it's amazing. The crowd were phenomenal, and they made the match so much better than it actually was, which was great. And I'm not even insulting the match because it was a good match.
Good match.
It's so exciting for us Brits to have this in the UK, and people are really voicing it, and that's coming across on TV, which is great.
Definitely. And you know what? I was expecting a huge reaction to Pete Dunne.
Yeah, but it was
really nice to see a big
way
reaction
more than
for
you
Dar
expected.
as well.
Yeah, it was way more than I expected. It sounded like an arena full, man.
Quick question.
Yeah.
Because this is a little gap in my knowledge. Noam Dar, before he's just come back from injury, hasn't he? Yeah. So before he went, he wasn't Scottish Supernova on. on 205 Live, was he?
I don't watch 205 Live, but I think they've repackaged him. He always had the ring gear.
Because he was Scottish Supernova before he went to WWE.
Yes, I believe so.
And while he's been doing other stuff.
I remember when they played in, was it Edinburgh?
Yeah.
And the crowd went mental when he
Well,
come out.
yeah.
Obviously. But, you will, yeah. But I mean, it was the same Raw where the crowd stole the Bailey and Charlotte segment.
Yes.
By chanting "Hey Bailey" over and over again.
That was such a good.
And that was another great chant. And that's the thing about British chants during the Toni Storm match. Toni Storm, Toni Storm, which is great, man. That's awesome.
Chants are always great in the UK.
The two start up with an initial grapple. There was a load of chants in this match as well that was broke up by the ropes. The UK sing "Happy Birthday" to Noam Dar at the start of a wrestling match. I mean, that's awesome. That's awesome. If you know it's his birthday, sing happy birthday.
And
Why
you know
not?
what? Credit to Pete Dunne, because he just kept
It odd,
the
yeah.
face.
Oh,
His face
man.
was like...
If it was a house show, he would have done something.
Yeah, he would have done something, but he knew he was on TV. He kept his
be
face stern as anything.
professional, man.
Yeah,
a clothesline from Pete Dunne probably looked more devastating than Joe Coffey's earlier on. I mean, wow.
Yeah, it was brutal.
Crack on that. Dunne goes to backflip over Dar by running up the turnbuckle, but Dar catches him, sending him falling back. That was a really nice spot because I was expecting that, Pete to go backwards.
Yeah.
Nice moment while Star's going to attack Dunne on the floor, and Dunne is kicking him from the floor to keep him away.
Fighting from the ground, and I love that about Dunne. He's the absolute master at demonstrating what ring psychology when you want to win looks like. He'll do anything to win.
That's exactly right. That's exactly what I'd say. It was awesome. Yeah. An X-Plex in the centre of the ring was reversed by Dunne. Was it? When I first saw it, I was like, "What happened there? Who got who?" It was a bit weird, the reversal.
Which
So he does the X-Plex in the middle of the ring where he flips him up and they sort of land separately, but then they're both flat out on the back. Maybe it was Dunne's fault actually for not selling the fact that he'd reversed it. I don't know.
Yeah, he hit him with one X-Plex earlier. Maybe he was just. I think maybe he'd already been hit by Dar beforehand, and he was just.
Yeah, and then tired. Out of it. Yeah, I get that, but because he reversed that in the middle of the ring, because he didn't react to getting up or something, it didn't feel like a reversal. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it was a bit weird. A sit-out powerbomb in the centre of the ring by Pete Dunne very nearly got the pin, and then we get the finger action from Pete Dunne, which is awesome, and it is great. He ends up bending Dar's fingers on the ring apron, but Dar reverses it with a fisherman suplex on the apron, with both men flailing to the floor to beat the 10 count. It was cool.
Yeah, it was a release again as well. He released
it was, and they just sort of plow.
And Pete does that amazing sell where his arms just kind of go floppy. So it's very rare that you see a wrestler who falls into a position and then just sells that position. Doesn't matter how strange
how weird it looks.
Because you think if you hit like that, that's how you're going to end up, isn't it? So it's great selling. Really good selling.
There was then a little segment with a reversal of submissions on the floor. We've done going for the fingers before Dar locks in the ankle lock, which was cool to see.
Yes.
The chants, NXT, then UK chants, whoop whoop, UK, whoop whoop.
British wrestling, I think.
Yeah, I mean, great. Really, really behind the action. And they made the debut episode awesome, I'd say. They really did. If you was there, give us a shout. We'd love to hear if you was there. That'd be awesome to know. Yep. Dunne goes for a bitter end, but Dar locks in the ankle lock. But Dunne makes it to the ropes. Really good stuff. Then we get more of the bending back of Noam Dar's fingers as he puts his finger back on the ring mat.
Yeah.
And then goes to stomp on it. What was your reaction when that happened?
I felt I felt a little bit sick.
Yeah, that's how wrestling should make you feel.
It's so good. It's so good.
It's that stuff like with Randy Orton and a screwdriver in Jeff Hardy's ear when you go, whoa, too much. But great, love it.
Well, it's a way of I think with very minimal risk selling actually like a very big like kind of pain level or
it's incredible because when you look at like the Attitude Era, which was all about busting people open and that
throwing
sort
people
of,
from the top of giant structures and stuff,
but now it seems to be like these tiny things that actually really don't necessarily. I mean that move that Noam Dar, it didn't hurt. He had his finger in the correct position so that it bent forward when he did the stomp on it, and again with the Hardy ear thing, it doesn't hurt, it's only skin, but it looks brutal.
Looks horrible.
And that's great. That's exciting.
That's really clever storytelling as well.
Done. So the end of it, after this awesome stomp on the hand, goes to a bitter end for the finish and pin by Dunne on Dar. Dunne goes for a handshake at the end, but before they both shake on it, they both put up the pinky
thing that Dar does.
I
don't think I understand.
I don't get it. And that's why I wish they'd use the fingers more, because Dar's got this whole finger thing going at the minute.
Well, that's what he did for the finish, didn't he? He started to get up and he did the finger, and that's when Pete Dunne kind of grabbed it.
grabbed
was a
it,
nice
yeah.
touch.
Yeah, but I wish they did it a little bit more.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I think it always works a little better for Pete Dunne when it's in the middle of the match. And also the crack back where he does where he grabs him and he snaps him didn't sound as good as it has done in the past.
No, I think the crowd preempted it slightly.
Right.
And so there was a big roar of the crowd at the point where the snap would have happened, which I think just kind of...
He was too loud, crowd.
Also, ruined the crack.
And that's the end of the pay-per-view. Do you want to say anything else about that match?
Yeah, I have a couple of things. I think they're just really nice touches. I love a good storytelling match, and Pete Dunne is the master of these.
Yeah, man.
The beginning of the match where he throws his coat into Noam Dar's face.
Yeah.
Is a great, just a lovely... It just makes it feel more real. You know?
And that's what he does well.
And, you get matches like, Brock Lesnar is really great at making matches feel real because of how brutal he is.
Because he just hurts people.
Because he just hurts people and busts them open with or without permission. But Pete Dunne is a master of doing it in a safe, clever, technical way, and it's just the little flares like throwing the coat in his face and stuff like that just makes it feel really authentic and really genuine, and his face is great as well.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
I wrote down here somewhere, Pete Dunne has the best gimmick and look in the WWE.
What's his gimmick?
Bold statement. It's the Bruiserweight.
The Bruiserweight. It's
great.
And actually, in many respects, it's the same as when Nakamura first come in, and he was the king of strong style. And it's very similar.
They've moved away from.
Well, yeah, they've ruined it. Yeah.
You know what? When Pete Dunne comes up to the main roster, a potential match between Pete Dunne and Shinsuke.
Wow.
How good would that be?
Yeah, like the feet versus the legs versus the
strikes.
Fingers. Yeah, that's great, man. That'd be great. There's so much potential with Dunne, and hopefully they do it sooner rather than. But then I don't know. Like we always say, oh yeah, it'd be great when they're in the main roster, but really, they could just kill Dunne.
They could.
Rude and.
It depends on. I mean, we all assume. I think that Triple H is going to take over at some point.
Yeah, so let's just wait for Vince to give it. Yeah, then we can move.
Well, there was a very interesting thing recently. I don't know if you've discussed this already, but where Triple H did an interview not that long ago, where he said, I think I'm paraphrasing slightly, but he said. I'm not sure if Vince has ever watched a whole episode of NXT.
Yeah,
he's very busy.
Yeah.
But then somebody who I think also works within the company came back and said on Twitter, I've been with Vince at Gorilla for NXT.
Yeah, so I think he does. I think it's just a bit of a shoot, actually. I think so. Why, I don't know. There'll be a reason behind it. Here we do the gay star rating, dude. So we have a Gimme a whole year star rating. Yeah. As you know from all the videos that you've watched and you love and you subscribe to and you just listen to and you sleep. 2.5 stars for me and the gay star rating. How about you?
I'm going to give it a 3.
A 3?
I'm give it a 3. I think the last match really pulls it up. I think the last match made the night, and it was cool. Good.
And that was your best match, I'm guessing?
Yeah, 100%.
I think best match for me, but I did really enjoy the squash match as well. I thought it was a really good squash match.
Yeah.
Best performer?
Dunne.
Sid Scala, man.
Really?
No, Dunne.
I was going to say.
Dunne was awesome. Dunne is awesome.
Dunne is just great in everything he does.
So, thank you for watching the episode. We'll talk a little bit about Ollie now. When did you first start watching wrestling, dude?
Oh, teeny tiny tot. I was really small when I first started watching. And then
what era was that?
Oh, we're looking kind of must be late 90s.
Sweet.
So late 90s. I remember distinctly Thrasher and Mosher.
Mosher and Thrasher. Yeah,
those were two of my favourite wrestlers at the time.
Cool.
Too Cool.
Rikishi.
Rikishi. Scotty Too Hotty. Grandmaster
Sexy.
Loved those teams.
Cool.
The Rock, obviously.
Who?
Yeah, exactly. That was my kind of era. And
you continued watching it even through all the rubbish that was...
No, I kind of actually stopped watching for a long time. And then around 2012, I think, started watching again. So I started rewatching just as... the Daniel Bryan story was really kind of picking up.
Yeah, you're a massive Daniel Bryan fan, aren't you?
I love Daniel Bryan. For a lot of the same reasons, I think that I kind of love Pete Dunne. In that,
okay.
Not for the in-ring style, obviously completely different, but I think Pete Dunne has picked up a few influences from Daniel Bryan, which is really interesting, like the backflip over the people and stuff like that. And his ring gear is quite early Daniel Bryan-esque. I always think like
What, a singlet?
the
Was
red.
Daniel Bryan-
No, the red. It's the red kick pads
Oh,
and stuff
right, okay,
that feel
cool.
for a bit Daniel Bryan.
Cool.
But no, yeah, I think he's got the same kind of ability to storytell in the ring. The facial expressions are all there. He's a slightly smaller guy, but he does a lot of strikes.
I don't know if I'd agree, because it feels like Daniel Bryan's early stuff was more about him throwing himself into it, and I don't really see Pete Dunne throwing himself in. That's what for me distinguishes Daniel Bryan's early style, as opposed to that sort of Pete Dunne who stands more firmly. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think, like I said, I think their styles are very different. I think it's more the ability to storytell and the striking as well.
And just being generally exciting.
Yeah. Daniel Bryan does all the all the flips and diving headbutts and what have you and stuff. Whereas,
not anymore.
Well, no. Do you see he went for one?
When was this?
Who was he? He was wrestling somebody, and he went for the diving headbutt.
What?
I know, and I was like,
"What are you doing?"
I got really upset about it.
We don't want to see you.
Yeah, you've just come back. Why are you doing this? Are you insane? Like, stop it.
Cool.
But yeah, no, I So Daniel Bryan, I kind of started watching again with Daniel Bryan when he, in his story, really picked up steam, which led to one of the greatest WrestleMania moments
I've heard about that
of all time. It's so good. It was so good. If you were watching it then, at the end of that 6 month Daniel Bryan...
I imagine it was.
At the end of that 6 month Daniel Bryan storyline, it was the biggest payoff. Honestly. There was a lot of good story around that time, actually.
Cool, man. One last one. Greatest match of all time?
Oh, man. Okay, so I know it's not technically like the best match, and I'll get hate for this. But it just for a moment where it felt like really like end of an era, or like kind of a moment in time.
Oh, I know what you're going to say.
Yeah,
Bob Backlund versus Bret Hart.
100%.
Yeah.
No, is Stone Cold versus The Rock.
Oh, I've heard that they're okay. The third one.
The third one.
Which WrestleMania was that?
It was. I think it was 19
maybe.
Or that was the second one. I can't remember.
No.
It was. I'm sure it was 15, 17, 19, or 17, 19, 21. I'm sure.
I don't know.
It can't have been 21.
Know. No, it won't have been that late.
But
I don't think.
I'm definitely going to get flamed now. No, but it was the final Rock Stone Cold match, and it's for one moment. The actual match quality wasn't as good as the other two, I don't think.
Not the heel turn.
No. It was when Rock finally won.
Right.
And after 2 other WrestleManias trying, and he's hit him with like 2 or 3 rock bombs at this point. Yeah. And Stone Cold just will not go down. It's Stone Cold's retirement match.
Yeah.
And Rock just like throws his arm over one more time, and there's this amazing camera angle cut where it cuts to like just below and to the side, and you just see like the determination in Rock's face, and then he just holds it there for a moment, because he's such a good performer. Like,
he's all right.
He knows what he's doing.
I mean, he's all right.
So he holds it there just long enough for the camera to really capture like that, that determination. Hits him with the final rock bottom, and then pins him for the 1, 2, 3. And Stone Cold's career is over. And it's just like
nice,
it's brutal.
Sweet. Well, thanks for that. If you have any other questions for Ollie, leave them in the comments below, or hit us up on Facebook. Check out we've watched WrestleMania 11 recently, so check out the review on that, and check out the Wrestling Rewind series that me and Dom's done. If you've enjoyed the video, a like really helps us out, and any sort of communication via Facebook or Twitter really helps us out. If you want to support the channel financially and you can afford to do so, that's awesome. We've got merchandise on Redbubble, which is our empty mugs, and we also have t-shirts. Strip your t-shirt.
Mine's looking like...
Yours is like brand new and fresh. This is like 37 washes of Wrestling Rewind. Thank you very much. If you want to see more, let us know, and we will do more, because I don't know how long. It depends how much traffic this series gets as to how long we'll sort of carry it on. So let us know that you enjoy it.
Yep.
Thank you very much for watching, and keep it gay.
You do that.
I do. You can do what you want.
I'll do this wave.